we come to you, Chintan, and discuss like one of the interesting technological things that you've been working on, because you've been working with VR in some exciting ways. Yeah. What we didn't discuss there, or what you didn't seem to mention there, is how is Giuseppe trained? What is it learning from? Where is it getting its information to be this amazing AI chef, essentially?
So we have different data, and I would say what it makes us different from other AIs is that the data that we are sourcing is not only external. We are building data every day inside of the company. So imagine like all of the prototypes and products that we were showing before, we have actually an instance that called Giuseppe Bytes. That's what's the name of the presentation today. And we actually give those products for the rest of the company, and they are giving us feedback in the real moment, and that is traduced in a sensorial way that goes inside the machine. So that's like the part that is more like abstract and sensorial and intuition from tasting something. But we have several data that we collect through very detailed and precise machines, lab equipment like the GCMS and others regarding moleculars or texture, aroma too.
And cookbooks, does it learn on like the historical archive of cookbooks?
Actually, yes. And as I was showing before, it uses a lot of the scientific papers.
Yeah, I saw that part, yeah.
So each of the products that we're using on our day-by-day or Giuseppe Bytes or complex projects that are coming from B2B, mostly like sustainable, they need to have like a lot of key information that is coming from an actual base of things that exist. Mostly it's coming from recipes from cookbooks, so we upload the most probably old cookbooks in the world, and we apply the new ones. And then also for functionality and science, we use the scientific papers as well. So it's giving you a lot of objective measurements that you can use it from that.
So imagine that now we are using the AI more for product development, but the data is inside if we want to expand and try new other ways of food, like recipes or traditional recipes that maybe we want to reinvent too.
This might be a bit naive, but does it have like a preference? Does it have a personality? Because there's little quirks, isn't there? We've all played with ChatGPT, and there's these odd quirks, like it struggles to do images of wine glasses. I remember I saw something recently that it couldn't tell you how many R's were in the word strawberry, and no matter how hard you tried to get it to do that. So does it have these little quirks, these little personality traits?
And also, yes, and also that is one part of like training the algorithm. Before that we were explaining, and it was going fully on plant-based. So it doesn't show you and give you like options from animals because it's not...
Because it's learned so much.
It's learned so much.
It's vegan.
Yeah, it's vegan.
That's what I can say.
This is what I mean. Does it have preferences?
Yeah, 100% vegan. You can use it for other purpose, but as company, we define for default that is always plant-based ingredients.
And Chintan, coming to you as a chef, what do you think of this type of technology?
I think basically I'll be jobless in a few years. And that's what this technology will do, I think. No, jokes apart. I think what will happen is that the form of traditional dining will always be there, but how technology will integrate with dining to make that experience better. So I think everything which is evolving as a technology on the parallel side of the dining, it's just adding on to the experience to become better. So a lot of people think it's a conflict, which I don't agree with. I think it can work in the same realm to just deliver a better product, consistent, and a phenomenal experience.
And Chintan's obviously joking a little bit there, but I think we all see AI and we're like, oh, that's my job. That's what I do. I mean, as a writer, it's getting very good at writing. And, as an artist, if I was an artist, I'd be a little bit worried. So what would your response be to the people that are a little bit fearful of AI?
I would say like fearful and also like skeptical about using it. But to be honest, AI, at least of what we see in Giuseppe, and it can go into a lot of things on AI, we use it as a tool. So mostly we need to understand that this tool, it will help you to not only help you to get better, but also it will boost your creativity and it will open more than actually close it a lot of the product formulations. From that, we have shown like with different type of sustainability things that what things we can do with AI. And so it's mostly like working with them instead of against them or just pressing a button and do it for me.
Will this ever be available at a consumer level, or will this stay at a sort of a corporate B2B level? Will I ever be able to go to Giuseppe and get recipes for myself at home, or is that not part of
We will work for that.
Yeah?
We want to share as chefs internally. We want to open this. We want to go to restaurants. And just at the very quick point regarding what you were talking before, it's not AI or humans. It's humans using AI. You are the one taking the decision by supporting your information with AI in any different field, not only about this one, because I know that in the presentation we can make very clear that it's a tool and it's not a robot that is doing or cooking for us. But in general, like it's not one or other. And if I had to choose, like it is the human using the AI.
And towards the end, I know we have a great video to sort of really exemplify that working alongside between humans and AI working together, but we'll tease that towards the end.
And it's our decision to take AI to the best side, and that's what we think that we are doing here at NotCo. And we would love to open this and go someday to restaurants. At this moment, it's not a priority for the company because of the revenues, and we know that restaurants probably won't have the amount of money to actually support the platform growth. But in the moment that we have everything ready and set, we are always excited about the idea to go to restaurant and start working in some problematics that we came from there. We know about that. We were in restaurants and we love cooking on a kitchen, you know? But there's so many things that you can solve and being helped for AI to get that place better too and have better salaries and agile and more time to rest.
More time to rest, very important for restaurants. Shifting away from AI a little bit, because Chintan, you're here because you did a lot of work with VR, virtual reality. Completely different fields, but another technology that's growing a lot. It's now quite accessible. Lots of people are using VR in their homes. I'm a bit of a VR geek myself. I have one at home as well and use it quite often. But you did a really interesting project with VR and food. Can you explain that project to everyone, please?
Yeah, so just to brief everybody that, so our company is called Unapologetic Foods. We are a bunch of people based out of New York. We run a few restaurants, and that's what we are known for. But as a company, as a group of individuals who ran restaurants, we always kept on questioning as what could be the future, or what is something different can be achieved, or what can be done. And you know, I always say that we are a bunch of idiots and stupid people. And genuinely, when I say this, I mean it, that we do things which technically doesn't make sense in any ways. So we were in 2018, we were just funnily enough discussing and stuff was happening. And then Ronnie, who's my business partner, he's the CEO of the company, he's not here today. He had a friend who said, oh, there's this artist, you need to meet him. And this artist does something to do with the food. So Ronnie went and met him. And this artist, he's an Italian guy, his name is Mattia Castellino. His entire life he has dedicated to virtual reality and dining. And Ronnie went and met him. He had a meeting with him. I couldn't go. And Ronnie comes back and he's like, dude, I'm blown away. I saw something which you won't believe.
The future.
No, not the future. But he says, I saw this and this is happening. And I swear by God, he kept on speaking for the next 30 minutes. And sorry for my language, I'm like, Ronnie, I can't understand the fuck you are saying. I swear by God, it was so complex. I couldn't understand anything. And I said, you know what, let's go and watch it. So I go the next day and I see the thing. Then I'm trying to explain other people about it, and nobody understands.
So describe to us, what did you see? Describe it to us.
So basically, you wear these glasses, and this is 2018. Uh, and I'll come to the part where we reached today, how it has reached. But it was this thing, I'm wearing the glasses, and I'm in this world which is a very abstract world, and different things are happening around it. And it's coming to you, you can touch it, you can feel it. And obviously, when I saw it first time, there was no food over there. But the actual technology that we worked in, everything, obviously the food got involved at some stage. But even doing it for the last 7 years and working with Mattia and the entire team for like close to like numerous number of hours, I cannot still sit here and explain you what it is. You have to experience it. It is as simple as that. And what happened is, and the way technology has evolved over is that when we did it in 2018, for a room this size, literally a size of this, or maybe a little bit more, like more 25%, we used to have 25 cameras across the room and wired glasses tracking every movement. So what happens is, just to give you a brief, is the concept is called aero banquets, and you wear the glasses, and let's say the first scene of one of the installations we did was that you are transported to space. You are in space, and there are planets revolving around you, and there is cutlery coming towards you, and you try to touch the cutlery and it will fly away. And then you'll see something walking around like a UFO coming to you and stands in front of you. And that's actual food in the real world, but you see the food this way. So this is the actual one of the illustrations of the food, what I'm wearing right now. But the food is totally different from what is there, and this is totally different. And then obviously it happens, and it keeps going scene by scene. And from having 20 cameras, today the technology has advanced so much that everything is wireless. You just wear the glasses and you are onto it. So we have seen that evolution of everything. And we have done this at multiple places like China, Korea. We don't have a brick and mortar thing for it. It's only when people invite us to do it. So because Nidal is here, he can invite us next year to do it.
Okay. Does it change the way food tastes?
It is more of a social experiment than a dining experiment, I would say. Now, I'll give you this specific example. I always give this. We were in South Korea, we were doing this, and what happens is, it's like a U-shaped thing where the food keeps on coming, and it keeps on rolling. So 4 people are doing a 1-hour installation, and everything moves in a sequence. So, and somebody who's like, for example, I was standing there and doing all the dishes, so I'm like a composer who has to get all the sequencing right. And I saw this lady, she would go towards the food and keep it back and not eat it. And she kept on doing it. And what was happening because of that is that I realized that the sequence is going wrong for the other people also, so I had to keep them continuation. She was delayed now, so I went and asked her, everything okay? She says, I cannot eat it. She literally told me I cannot eat it. And I'm like, fair enough, so I just take it out. And remember something, that she doesn't know what she's going to eat. She doesn't know what is the piece of food in front of her. She's just seeing a virtual image in front of her. That's the only thing she's watching right now. She says, I cannot eat. And I'm like, okay, so I just take that thing, I keep that food apart, go to the next course. And after the thing was done, I said, what happened? Why didn't you eat that? She says, I have a phobia of eating black colored food. And that actual picture in the virtual world was actually blackish in color. But then I showed her the actual food, which was just a piece of fish with some sauces and a crisp. And she says, no, this was not it. And I said, no, this was it. It's just that your mind made you believe what you're going to eat is something black in color. So
Crazy, yeah.
it's crazy. And like one of the sequences, is that you are in the zone where the meat is flying around. And then there's a carcass of the carcass of pig which comes, and it's got piano on it, and you can play it. So I'm in a virtual, I look at this thing and I'm doing this and it's playing music. And at that time, we actually give a course which is vegan. But when you ask people, they think they actually ate meat.
Because the brain is tricking
The
them.
brain is not making them believe that it was actually vegan. it is more of a social experiment than anything else, and it's very fun. We do it like, and now we do it when people invite us to do it and everything. But it's always very exciting, and I think what excited us as individuals was that it was something that we were challenging. You know, it's something that like we could be doing the same thing, four of us, and everybody will have a different opinion about it. That's the best part about it. So it's not like, let's say we are sitting in a restaurant and we are dining and there's a dish which comes and all four of us can critique that dish. And we can say, oh, it's like this. This is totally different.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure it can play with the perception of flavor as well and making you feel fuller by making something seem bigger, but actually it's quite small. There's all sorts of tricks you can play.
Like for example, like one of the installation, the final course was that as soon as you eat the final course, and it's all integrated, so nobody's touching you or anything, but as soon as you do the final course, basically you start drowning in the river. And I'm not exaggerating, there are people who just stand up because they are feeling they're actually drowning in the water. And it's not happening, it's literally not happening, but they would feel that.
Wow, what a great experience to try. I'd love to try it. I want to come to the audience and ask if you guys have got any questions, but just before we do that, you showed some of the great examples there of what Giuseppe has come up with. What did you leave behind? When is it like totally missed the mark? What sort of crazy stuff has it come up with where you're like, that will not work?
That will not work. I think we have a line curve of our understanding and a lot of failure in different stages of the process. So I would say like, even when you try to combine things, you test and you screw up a lot of things. Now it's like probably 5-6 years ago, it was like a complete mess. And it will give you like, you're trying to do like a mayonnaise and it will give you like completely different colors. No, I'm really trying to have like a white one and explain it again. Failure just failure. And now it's like, it's really understanding that if you have set like a good prompt of everything that you have, it's similar things of what is like AI work. If you go into specific things and you show what is the process, you give a complete context, it will give you a better, a better result. But before that, we have, I don't know, about like 1,000 of different failures, but at the same time, our learnings as well. But it's a funny part of how we see, mostly like what's the first part of the colors. So color was really, really hard to understand, and mostly when we're trying to come from animal to plant-based, the plants have like different pigments and colors, and you see how it changes and evolves on the heat. So it didn't understand the heat when you were applying on green stuff, it will give you like something dark, and we need something whiter. So it was that part that was kind of funny.
Something that it was like great, I would say, in this journey of jumping to a company like NotCo is that we start like loving the failures, because as chefs, we all have a little bit of ego, and every time that you cook a dish, you always want to be that perfect dish, you know, that perfect dough or flavor, and you want the people enjoy it. So, and I remember when I joined the company and Karim, the CTO, was telling me like, Paula, you need to be open-minded and you need to try exactly what the AI is suggesting you. And I was like, this
like it's not enough salt.
This won't work. This is too much pepper. Like,
Yeah.
I know that this will be bad. Okay, but we need to do it. And we need to test and share that data to the algorithm to teach Giuseppe how to not repeat that again. So we have, during years, many of failures, and also failures about like exploratory things, and also in product development. And I can say an example, the nut milk that now is a milk that had 100% of the functionality, because it's not just enough having a plant-based milk that you can use only for beverage. It's a milk that you can cook savory, sweet, that you can foam, that you can put it into the oven in some preparations, and you have the same result.
Same characteristics
the
of
same
milk,
ones.
not just the flavor,
And I remember in that moment we have the version of the algorithm. Giuseppe was very strong in recommending innovative ingredients for the flavor, and we achieved like a very dairy flavor, very good, but were ingredients that the color wasn't helpful, or the foaming property couldn't be achieved on that. So we didn't saw the result, and we didn't launch the product in the moment because of that. We wait until the moment that we have the data, we train the algorithm a year after, and when we have the functionality, we can launch a milk that can foam and send to baristas and coffee shops. But from your first question, like there's something that you think that won't work for the future, I would say no, because like one of our best phrases in the company is like, why not? Like maybe we are not seeing today that that will be helpful or people will like it, but like maybe it's not the right moment too. But probably in the right context and the right space can work too. We try to really go beyond this and go to the impossible things.
I'm really looking forward to trying some of the samples. Very quickly, because we are running out of time, is there anyone in the audience that would love to ask anyone up here a question? No one?
That's great. It was
Paul,
clear.
we have one here.
So I'm really fascinated by the idea of AI with food. I'm really curious how flavor and taste is so subjective. And obviously you can put in as many objective elements into the feedback that you give the machine. But who determines, quote, good? Like this flavor works, and whose palate are we basing that on, and how do you think about that?
Yeah, so I would say you, all of you, consumers. We have a sensorial team that works with panels that are experts and not experts, and also people from the company. And we try to do like a mix of all of that insights. So we try to do all the time the consumer decide what is the flavor, because we as chef maybe we're also, I don't know, a little bit blinded of what is happening only inside of the company, or like between the teams in NotCo, like marketing thinks something, or I vote for other prototype and then other team, but like I would say consumers is the answer. Like, and consumer is evolving every year too.
I was actually going to ask you this question, something similar, but I have an opportunity. So like, I have a very unique problem in my house where I eat very less salt and my wife has a very high tolerance for salt. So the way cooking gets done as the dish is made, then we take out and then she has salt and she makes a thing. So like, how will this work out? Like something like that, like hypothetical scenario.
Yeah, I would say it's an average. You know, if you have so many insights from different consumers, you will get to one point that is enough for some and just the amount for other ones.
And like, how accessible will it become to consumers at some point of time, and how expensive would the technology be?
Yeah, I mean, in that part of of consumers, you need to really look into where you are. So mostly if you are working in the US, and even the US, you're going from the East Coast to the West Coast, all the profiles are different. All consumers want different things, and you see how the products are in one specific part of the US compared like the whole. And also like in Latam, how this is applying to a specific type of flavors, or the amount of sodium that you can use in Chile is completely different to Argentina. So most is that I won't say that expensive, but you really need to work into specific parts that you're gonna focus your product to be.
And cultures.
And I don't want to go too off the beaten track, but in answer to your salt thing, I think just a couple of weeks ago, some research was published on a fork that electronically stimulates your tongue, and it replicates salt without there being salt in a dish.
Oh, wow.
So that's on the way as well for the future of dining.
You can buy that
That's
one
a
for,
good Christmas
your
gift.
house.
Yeah. And let's just speak about finally this amazing collaboration you did with a chef, because like you say, it's about working alongside chefs and not replacing chefs. And I know that you worked with a very famous chef here in Miami, Diego Oca. So can you just quickly introduce that idea? And I think we've got a nice video to play for everyone, and then that'll be the end of this discussion.
So to be honest, I was a big fan of Diego.
We all are. I think everyone here is a big fan of him.
Yeah, he's a doctor, but also like an amazing person, and in a way of how we feel connected was he was really trying to get into AI, not only to just say that he's working with AI and trying to understand it, and really working with him into working together as a team to understand what was the specific need in that part. So actually, into your point, like we were trying to save an species, so as a turtle. So in Cayman Island, they were still eating the turtle, same as Peru, but they have it more as a cultural thing. So in the part of that, you're not only trying to show something and just replicating, you need to understand the whole context of what was this about, how is this project, and then how you can make it faster and really approach the need. There was, first of all, texture, and give like a clear message to the people that we're trying to save an species, working together also with a chef. So interesting part was bringing some external. Diego was working with us. First of all, we went to Cayman Islands, then we went to San Francisco to develop this dish that was the turtle soup. And whenever he was having something, he was really curious about how this works, how we develop. So mostly the part that we were working is that, like, in the different stages of Giuseppe, we were having these inputs coming from Cayman Islands. So a lot of the sensory, we give the sensory feedback, we input it in Giuseppe, and we start using that as a tool. We couldn't bring the sample because it was illegal, and in a way so it was like super. I mean, I would say like shocking in a way, but really trying to understand how this can be also work for the future of things that we can try because it doesn't exist anymore. But people was having this as a need. For them because we didn't have anything else.
And for Diego was amazing. Like he went into NotCo US and like started looking about like the kitchen that work over there that is like in between a kitchen and a lab, and start looking through the software Giuseppe, and he couldn't believe it. He went for just one brief, about doing this experiment because we're not selling not turtle soup. This is like a provocation for all of us, and think about it like, what if AI go to that direction too? And the result, it was amazing. So
should we show the video? Because I think that explains it really well.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Really well.
Over the last century, there's been a concerning decrease in green sea turtle population. Big threats to this beautiful species have been pollution, warming seas, and unregulated commercial fishing. And while the poaching of green sea turtles has become illegal, it's still consumed to this day because it's part of many countries' cultural heritage, from China to Nigeria, from Mexico to Peru.
Nos hemos criado con ese alimento de la tortuga.
Era un sustento para nuestro hogar, para nuestra familia.
Can AI and humanity come together to find a solution to this problem? This is where the globally acclaimed Peruvian chef Diego Oca, tech food company NotCo, and Giuseppe, NotCo's AI platform designed to solve innovation challenges, came together to create Not Turtle, an endangered animal dish without the endangered animal. To begin their research, they needed to analyze real turtle meat, so they went to one of the few countries where it's still legal, the Cayman Islands. And once there, they tried the dish for themselves and learned how it was made. After completing their research, they went to NotCo's headquarters to work with Giuseppe and the chefs in order to develop a plant-based alternative for Giuseppe to replicate the taste of turtle meat.
Primero, la textura. Tiene un sabor a cerdo, tiene un sabor a carne.
For Giuseppe to replicate the taste of turtle meat, it analyzed over 300,000 plants and 260 quintillion possible combinations. Giuseppe narrowed it down to 5 proteins and 8 recipes that replicate the texture, taste, and molecular structure of turtle meat.
Creo que lo más importante que nos ha dado Giuseppe es todas las texturas, la gelatina, la proteína, la grasa. Eso solamente lo da el producto original.
Now that they have the recipe, will the people who grew up with this dish accept Not Turtle as an alternative?
We just brought the soup that we made at NotCo, and we're gonna give it to the locals, and we want to see what's their opinion.
Tiene el sabor a la sopa de tortuga.
Me ha traído grandes recuerdos, de verdad.
Idéntica a la tortuga, es tortuga.
Not Turtle shows what AI and humans can do for good, preserve cultural traditions while giving endangered animals a chance.
Nos explicaban de la manera que se ponía la tortuga y a nosotros también sentíamos pena, tristeza, porque dicen que ella lloraba pues cuando lo mataban.
Join us on this journey and sign up for Not Turtle cooking class.
Thank you. So unfortunately, I'm sure we'd like to carry on talking about this, but that's all we've got time for. I'm already in trouble because I've gone over the time. Carolina's been giving me the daggers. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you, Chintan. Thank you very much for explaining Giuseppe and NotCo to us. It's been really fascinating.
Thank you, Ryan.